What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Game Season 2, Episode 14. I am your co-host, Marcus. This is the Average Man's Perspective on Football, also your favorite show on YouTube.
Amen.
Joining me on the panel tonight is Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Good evening.
Mark, say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
And Herman, say what up, Herman.
It's hump day.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video. Go on over to the channel, subscribe to it. Help us get those likes up. Also want to encourage you to check us out on Twitter. What's the tag, Brian?
I think they can read, but it's at the lay of game 3.
At the lay of game 3. We had some good games last week. Let's go ahead and get started.
We're not doing sports intel.
Yeah, you forgot sportsintel.net.
Can we talk about it off camera?
We can. It was nice. We did talk about that. Wow. Oh.
Okay, all right. In week 13, we had a fantastic week of games. Starting off with the Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day. First of all, how was you guys' Thanksgiving?
It was great until about 7 o'clock.
Good time with family, friends, and yeah, I don't know about football stuff.
It was great all day.
Hey, I couldn't think of a better day to have football and food. That was great. I enjoyed it too. Getting into our first game, we had the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. We started out, Brian. Who did you have in this particular game? Well, the game was 24-20. The Bears won. Who did you have, Brian?
I had the Bears. Trubisky was actually decent in this game. He threw 29 times. I'm sorry, he threw 38 times, completed 28 of his passes for 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. The odd thing about this is both of the teams were 50% on third down. But the big surprise on this one was the guy that we laughed about when we talked about it was going to start, which was Blau. Blau was 22 of 38 for 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. But he was actually lighting them up the first couple drives. Had a nice couple passes down to the wide receiver, Galladay, which I had on my bench in fantasy, but that's a whole nother issue. But he had also was the 4th quarterback to throw for over 130 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. The other 3 were Mahomes, Jackson, and Rodgers. So I picked that one right.
Herman, who's you had?
Yeah, I had the Bears too. This was a good game, like Brian said. Blau. He was lighting them up at first, but as soon as the Bears switched their coverage, that's when he started to struggle. I think the Bears was running. I think they were running a lot of zone coverage at first. He was kind of picking them apart, but when they went to man to man, and those windows got tighter, that's when he did start to struggle. But yeah, Trubisky, I still think 38 times for him to throw might be a little much. But he had pretty good numbers. I don't know if Chicago's not really trying to get their running game going.
That's what I'm like. Where's their running game?
I mean,
Montgomery every once in a while has a good game, and then some games he's not even there.
They almost had 100 yards combined.
But they're not using Cohen for some reason. You should get him out in space, and he's quick. So I mean, I don't know what they're maybe that's what they need, a new offensive coordinator, make things better. But yeah, I picked the Bears. It was a good game. It was a good game finally to start off the Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, on this particular game, I chose the Bears also. They got off with a hot start, believe it or not. I think that's the key for Trubisky to play well. You got to get him off, kind of started off and warm him up. By that time, was this the game with the trick with the quick onside kick too? Was that the game?
I don't know if that was.
Did you see that, Mark?
Yeah, that was this game?
That was a slick play. That was a brilliant play.
Was it on purpose though?
I think he did it on purpose.
Debated with my coworker. I'm like, did he do
I
it on purpose?
Because he didn't try to even kick the ball up. He just drilled it straight to him.
It was
That was a good
it
play.
Might have been.
It was successful turnover. They got the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bears, they came out successful. Like you said, I just they fell off of the run too early in this game. I thought they could have ran the ball in Detroit a little bit more. But, I mean, they did what they had to do. They won the game, so that's all that matters. Marcus, who's you at?
I also picked Chicago. Like you guys have said, this was actually a pretty good game. It was a good way to start Thanksgiving off. They actually were pretty evenly matched pretty much throughout the whole game. No fumbles. Each threw just one pick. Both had 50% on third down efficiency. Mr. Trubisky actually looking like he deserved to be an NFL quarterback. And like you said in the
I
beginning,
know that far.
Yeah, that was mostly in the fourth quarter.
but I mean, yeah, he got the numbers up there. But and then we also had, like I was saying, David Blau, which is, he looked real good in the beginning, kind of fell off near the end, but it was a very good game.
So next game we have on tap, the second game was the Buffalo Bills, Mafia against the Dallas Cowboys. That's what they call themselves. They call themselves
the Bills Mafia.
It's Buffalo Mafia.
Anyway,
Bills Mafia.
Okay?
What the hell?
Anyways, this game, Bills kind of dominated the Cowboys in this one. Game ended up being 26-15. Marcus, I'll let you start us off. Who did you take in this one?
I don't know why I keep picking the Cowboys.
You don't need all that.
I'm just saying, I truly just.
Hey, you the jinx.
Right.
We need to go back and look at this. When every time he chose the Cowboys, y'all lost.
We need to verify this.
Look at those tapes.
Pick for the rest of the season, Marcus. Go ahead.
I mean, even though the Bills have a pretty good record, I wasn't expecting them to actually go to Texas Stadium on a Thanksgiving like that. But it's just, I don't know. Dak Prescott, he showed out again, 32 for 49, 355 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But maybe, once again, too many passes. That's something we've been saying a lot this season. Too many passes, 49 passes, attempts is maybe too many. Now, Zeke did eat a little bit, but he only had 12 carries for 71 yards. And, I understand if you're averaging 5.9 yards a carry, just keep feeding them and keep feeding them. And, that, to me, that's the way you should be going. But, I mean, at this point, especially with the Eagles downfall, the Cowboys, I still think the Cowboys are locked to win the division, but it's not looking too good for them.
Yeah, okay, and in this one, Buffalo, they won it, of course. And I chose Buffalo in this particular one. I long wolfed this one, and I was right on this one. But you said it, Marcus. I don't know what was the Cowboys thinking as far as game plan. Where was Zeke? They didn't run Zeke too much in this particular game. I thought the key was Josh Allen being able to control the ball. They had a lot of turnovers for Dallas. I think there was 3 altogether.
Couple two. I think Dak had an interception.
Yeah.
Defense did get.
Yeah. But I thought the key was Josh Allen not turning the ball over, and he handled it. He handled the game pretty well. Buffalo was successful in it, and that's who I chose. Brian, who'd you have?
Can we talk about another game?
Nope.
Pick the Cowboys. I picked incorrectly. I don't understand how a quarterback on a 4th and 1 sneak can fumble the damn ball and then have time to pick it up and jump over the line for a first down without anybody touching it. After that play, I was pretty much disgusted. My whole Thanksgiving meal was ready to come back up. Very, very, very upset about this one. I got to give the Bills credit. They played a good game. But like in Dallas fashion, they let an old player, old Cole Beasley, get 6 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. And the Bills defensive players get to mock Zeke at the end of the game. Both defenses played good, though. Both of them got 4 sacks. And like Marcus and them were saying, I mean, if the Cowboys would actually go back to the old Cowboys and just run the damn ball, I think we win more games. But I picked the Cowboys and I picked them.
Cole Beasley was on a mission that game, boy.
He
was upset with y'all for letting
and he let the little sportscaster lady know afterwards too. Hope he burns the hot sauce.
Yeah, I picked the Cowboys on this one too. I got it wrong. It's like you said, Mark. Every week I look for a game plan from Dallas, and I don't see it. So I don't know what they go into. Usually you go into a game, you decide we're going to attack here. This is what we're going to do. Then, of course, if you get way behind, then yeah, you have to change. You have to change things up. But I just don't. I never see it. Dallas, they talked about how Dallas kept having slow starts all these games. Well, we started fast this game, and that didn't help either. So At this point, and this, it's a topic we'll get into another show. It's time for change, and the change that's going to be made probably won't help things. We're just a level above where the Redskins are when it comes to ownership and GM and all that stuff. I think maybe just because we have a more talented team is why we win more games than the Redskins. But in all honesty, Dallas and the Redskins are the same damn team. They are run by terrible owners.
Well, I'll take 6-6 any day. Okay.
I know. I'm saying we just have better. We draft better than you guys because we have somebody that kind of overrules Jerry on the draft stuff. So it's ridiculous. The talent that this team has to be playing like this week in and week out. We can't even replace the kicker. They can't kick for nothing, but you won't replace them, and you have confidence in them. You're going to keep. Why? You got rid of a better kicker when he went through a little slump. You got rid of him, but now you would pay this guy to go rolling out there and missing field goals every week. So I'm done talking about him.
I mean, I guess we discussed this maybe in a later show, but I got 2 words for the Cowboys next season: Lincoln Riley.
I don't want a college coach, but we'll talk about that.
All right. The third Thanksgiving game we had was the New Orleans Saints against the Atlanta Falcons. This game was won by the Saints 26-18. Still pretty good game for the beginning for the most part. Herman, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, I picked the Saints. I mean, they're obviously the dominant team in the NFC South. I was a little disappointed in Atlanta. I thought Atlanta coming off that last win last week. I thought they were going to be better. But again, we start to see this trend. The NFL is a passing league. But when your quarterback throws 50 times, 50 times, I don't care who it is. There's maybe 2 quarterbacks in this league that should throw that much. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. That's probably it. I might throw in
Mahomes.
Russell Wilson. No, I'm going to stop. Nope, not even Mahomes because you let Mahomes throw too much. He gets in trouble with that. He's still up and coming. But, where's your run game? Freeman was 17 carries for 51 yards, and then you compare that to Drew Brees was 18 for 30, 184 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara had 11 carries, 61 yards. Their run game struggled a little bit too, but I don't care. Your quarterback should not throw 50 times. It just shouldn't happen.
And you took
the Saints, yeah. Like I said, nobody, in the South is beating them.
Brian, who you had?
Oh, so was it Herman? I picked the Saints. The Saints defense really played well. The Falcons were a little short-handed. They didn't have their best wide receiver in this game. The Saints defense got 3 turnovers and they got 9 sacks. 9 sacks. With that win, they clinched the South Division. And they have a quarterback on their league called Taysom Hill. He was the first quarterback with a rushing touchdown and a reception for a touchdown in the game since Jim McMahon. Now, who would have thought of Jim McMahon? Yeah, it had to have been. And will anybody forget the stiff arm that Tuttle gave Matt Ryan? Like, basically, I thought Ryan died on that play. What the hell? It was like the worst stiff arm. And lots of memes on Facebook and Twitter because of that. But Ryan, like you said, he just threw too much. I mean, 35 of 50 for 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Ridley, he kind of stepped up, had 8 catches for 91 yards, but you just can't win throwing the ball that many times.
Go ahead, Marcus. Who did you have?
Yeah, I also picked the Saints, and you talk about those 50 pass attempts by Matt Ryan. But on the other hand, like Herman said, Drew Brees was only 18 to 30. I think that what that says to me is the Saints are a complete team. Everybody's contributing. Everybody's playing their role, which to me makes them probably the premier team in the NFC right now. They seem to have it all together. I definitely think they'll definitely be in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, in this particular game, I took the Saints also. I felt like the Saints the Falcons really didn't have too much to play for in this particular game. What they did in Week 10 when they killed the Saints, I knew it wasn't going to happen again. even though Breeze only threw for 184 passes, he would have had more. A couple of receivers dropped some passes in this game that gave him a little bit more passing yardage in here. But like Brian said, that stiff arm was just the funniest. The Saints, I mean, they sitting pretty right now. What can I say? The Saints are doing what they're supposed to do, and they are all good, all the way around team. They are.
Were you a little curious? I don't know. I mean, I guess 26 is a lot, but I don't know. I just expected the Saints to score more in this game. I didn't
Divisional
even.
game, though.
I guess.
It always changes things.
It just seemed like they're dominating as that defense. I don't know. I just expected more scoring, but I mean, it's still a strong win.
All right, moving on to the next game. This one was a doozy, a good one. We had the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This game was 17-20, one with a last-minute field goal by the Ravens. Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
Well, of course, I picked Baltimore in this. This was just pretty much an ugly game. That weather was terrible. I think it probably slowed both offensives down. Finally, we've been saying about the Ravens all season. They always jump out to a lead and play from a lead. Actually, San Francisco scored first in this, and it was a good. I think this was a good test for the Ravens. I mean, they're a smash mouth football team anyway, but I kind of feel like they're like a finesse smash mouth football team. If that's not an oxymoron. And I think this was a game that they needed to show that they are definitely a real contender, a real team. And they are the total package, and it was just I thought it was just a great game, and it's crazy because Lamar Jackson, he was only 14-23 for 105 yards and one touchdown, and you probably would never look at a quarterback's stats like that, think they win the game, but he also had 101 yards rushing for 16 carries, so
that's the part right there. Yeah, that's the part right there.
That's the part right there. So I think this was a game that I think both the Falcons and the 49ers needed, and it showed that both of these teams are the real deal. The 49ers lost, and I know there's no such thing as a moral victory, but I think they'll bounce back, and I think both teams showed good grit in this game.
Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I was with Marcus. So I picked the Ravens as well, and like you said, it was a very good game, very good game. The weather played a big part in it. It was rainy, it was cold. The Niners had to travel all the way to Baltimore. Baltimore fans are pretty loud and pretty boisterous. It's difficult for them to do well, but the 49ers got their run game going. Mostert had ran 15 out of 21 times for 165 yards and a touchdown. Amazingly, though, they still lost time of possession. But like Marcus was saying, the Niners took the ball, walked down the field, and scored, which is what you need to do with Baltimore. The only problem is the defense let Baltimore come down the field and score and tie the game back up, which kind of knocked them back out. One little note, too, Tucker, that was his 15th game-winning field goal. And the Ravens are 12-0 when Jackson runs for a plus 70 yards in a game. So the Ravens did what they had to do, but the Niners, like you said, put up a show, too. So, I mean, that game could have went anyway, but the Ravens got down the field, what they did, and Tucker's money when you're kicking a field goal.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I went with the Ravens also. Like you said, this was a really good game. You laughing at?
Mark.
Just look, you saw
it. I usually watch Red Zone, but I was like, nah, I gotta watch this game. It was a good game. That weather played, I think, even though both teams like to run, that weather played more into, I feel like, the Ravens' hands. Raining at home for them, they just dominated on the ground. It just, but like Brian said, 49ers got their run game going too. That game could have went either way, but I think, it wasn't surprising to see Tucker kick the winning field goal in a game like that, and that's why kicking is important, especially, this time of year. So great game. I think it could have been a preview for the Super Bowl. We'll see. I'm definitely still behind the 49ers. I won't doubt that they're real. It's going to be interesting coming down the stretch.
Just real quick, did you guys did you pick?
No, I didn't say.
Okay, I mean, I just want you to wear the hat a little bit longer. But just real quick, do you guys remember like before this was like a fad in the NFL with a running back and the quarterback would run and they would decide who would be pitching it? and then they all started backing off it because defenses just decided to hit the quarterback and just start blasting them.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I haven't seen that.
They
at all.
should.
They're so scared.
I think they're scared of getting the flag.
No, you can hit them though because they at that point they're like a
But I mean they showed plays in that game where like they read the defensive end or whatever, and he had no clue what to do. No clue. Linebackers were trying to be aggressive, going for the run. Lamar just cuts on the other side and runs down the field for 80, 20 yards.
It's just like you said. If you put whoever's designed to be on the quarterback and handle the run, they need to stay focused and stay on the.
The DNs kept crashing in.
Yeah,
exactly.
If the DN, I mean, you can see if the DN just went straight at Lamar.
Yep.
You got to let your teammates do the work inside.
Yeah.
If you get because one announcer said that they analyzed the game and they said, look, at the beginning of the game, hit Lamar. When they do it, hit Lamar. They said you might get gashed for the run inside a couple times.
But you know what? It'd be worth taking a penalty at least one time.
Yeah, because
it'd
it's
be worth
going to make
It'll be
Lamar
worth it.
hesitate and think a little
bit.
Yep.
So, and you're right there. I mean, they wait so long to pull it out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a penalty. They can't call a penalty on that. He's a runner. You know what I mean? So, it's the DNs. To me, it's the DNs who make the read option work so well. If you go back and look at it.
And what you taught too in this defense is you don't let them get to the outside.
Right,
you keep the outside contained. That way you force them back to the inside, so you do have the help.
Right, you're supposed to shoot up the field, and the DNs always shoot in. They always crash in, and that's what causes the problem.
I mean, I thought this problem was solved in 2013, that season after.
Miami had that Wildcat stuff, I thought.
After RG3 and Colin Kaepernick had that great year too.
Yeah,
it was. But now, I guess Lamar's a little bit faster, but I don't know. I think the players are just trying to do too much.
And before Mark speaks, for those who haven't watched the episode before, we all pick games and then after we pick the games, if someone picks a game and they lone wolf it, in other words, they're the only one that thinks that a team wins, and that team loses, they have to wear what we call the dunce hat, which is what Mark has on his head right now. So, Mark, with that, I will let you go ahead with your pick.
The 49ers, I chose in this game, but I wear this hat with pride. They played an awesome game, this game. They've had Lamar Jackson turn the ball over. He has not fumbled none this year. I give him that. I give him the credit. This was a great game. Had to come down to the kick at the last minute. The weather played a big key. I think 49ers trying for a 50-yard field goal was not the right thing to do. But if he'd have made that field goal, that last drive would either been playing for a tie. It'll put more pressure on them to either put a touchdown up or score a field goal. Could have tied up, possibly been an overtime game. But it was an awesome game. I chose the 49ers, of course. What do you guys think about the pass interference call? Do you remember?
I think that they should have ruled it pass interference. I think that
we talking about it was two calls. We talking the one against the 49ers where TJ Ward jumped up and was going for the ball.
Oh, that one I didn't like.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay. But they didn't. I don't. They didn't.
They did not call the pass.
Right, and I don't think it should have been pass interference.
Because he was
going for the ball. He has a right to the ball, and the ref, I think,
I agree.
He explained that he didn't hit him over the back.
The one you talking about was kind of like a bang bang play.
No, he grabbed him. Am I talking about the one where he grabbed him?
Who was it on? Was it on Humphreys?
It was on the Ravens. Yeah,
on Humphreys.
He grabbed him when the ball was in the air.
Yes,
and they didn't call it.
They did call it.
No, they reversed it and made it pass interference off the reversal.
Yes,
that's why they instituted the rule.
Yes.
Yeah, and luckily now the refs are kind of reviewing
they're not
and
scared to do it.
Yeah, and we're getting a couple reversals.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. The key, to me, the key moment of this game was when Baltimore got that ball and they killed the clock. They killed it. They never when Baltimore got the ball, you can look on the 49ers face and they look like, oh Lord, we might not have a chance to get back out there again. And that's what they did. They did an excellent job with getting the ball, getting the first downs, milking that clock, and going down and kicking the wheel field goal. That was superb. So for all you purple fans out there, you drinking the purple
Ben, Kelly,
continue on drinking.
Congratulations.
Tim Proctor, this for you. I wear the dust hat, but I wear it proudly, though. I wear it proudly. All right. I can take this thing off now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next game we got is the New England Patriots against the Houston Texans. That game was 28-22. Another crazy game. Herman, who did you have in this one?
I picked the Patriots in this one. I almost picked Houston this game because after seeing the Patriots against Dallas last week, as bad as Dallas was, the Patriots didn't dominate us in that game. This just doesn't feel right about the Patriots, even though they're 10-2. You know, it just doesn't feel the same. You know, you always knew like when they struggled, oh, they're going to turn it on, they're going to kick it in. You're not seeing it. You know, Brady, 24 for 47, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And he's
Are we boring you, Marcus?
No.
You know, Brady's frustrated.
We can hear you yawning over this.
with numbers like that. So it kind of shows you, the receivers are not running routes where he expects them to be, I think. They're dropping balls. When you get into the playoffs, these are going to be crucial plays. Every play matters. There's going to be some crucial plays that aren't going to get made that the Patriots are used to having made. And so, I think that's something that you're going to see in a couple of weeks coming, So, yeah, I picked it wrong. I picked the Patriots.
Yeah, Herman, on this one, I went with you. I went with the Patriots. Brady was so frustrated in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting knocked around. I didn't think that the Texans were mount up this greater pass rush without having J.J. Watt there. They put a lot of pressure on Brady, which was good. They didn't give him the time to throw. Brady just we talked about it a couple of weeks back on not having Gronk, not having Antonio Brown. He's hurt without having a star wide receiver right now, or a number one wide receiver, to say. But the Houston, they dominated the second half. They did what they're supposed to do. Got the turnovers. They won it 28, but I took the Patriots. Marcus, who you had?
I took the Patriots as well because at this point in the season, you probably should never bet against the Patriots. But I was wrong. If you look at Tom Brady's numbers, he was 24 for 47, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns. But that 22 to 28 score is misleading. Texas came out and they dominated that whole game. All those yards, just garbage yards. Even still, I find it hard to count the Patriots out. Until it's over for sure, and I see it consistently over. I cannot doubt them. This may be the beginning of the end, but I'm not ready to nail the hammer the nail in the coffin right now.
Brian, who'd you have in this one?
We were all wrong on this one. I also went with the Patriots on this one. Like Marcus was saying, man, it's tough to go against Tom Brady. And the Texans, although they looked good for the most of the season, I mean, against the Colts, they didn't look that great. But they looked great in this game. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. Like Marcus said, that score is absolutely misleading. The Texans took advantage of this. I think they were up 21-3 or something like that. This at one point. I mean,
and Brady threw a pick six.
Yeah, Brady threw a pick six. I mean, it was a show. I mean, the Texans were elated because they had never beat the Patriots since Bill O'Brien took over. Yeah. But the crazy thing, like Marcus said, all these stats look crazy. New England had 448 yards of offense. The defense allowed 4 passing touchdowns, which they hadn't done all year. They actually only allowed 4 the previous games. Watson was awesome, 18 to 25, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns. Thank you for the 50 points in fantasy. They lost the total time of possession. They only had it for 25 minutes. The Patriots had it for 34 minutes. They lost the total yards. They only had a total of 276 yards. Like I said, the Patriots had 448. But and if you didn't watch this game, you would think it would have been a competitive game. But the Texans were actually the much better team. And you just seen Tom on the sidelines yelling, and you seen him the receivers just weren't doing where he was supposed to be. And Tom is so precise that if you need to run your route because he's letting that ball go. And part of the pass rush was because the receivers weren't where he needed to be. So Tom was trying to get more time for him. The only one that was consistent was Edelman. And then at the end, the running back,
White.
White actually started getting some yards and getting some scores. So good job to the Texans.
Also this knocked the Patriots out of the number 1 spot, the number 2 below the Ravens now in the standings.
True.
And and also they haven't beaten any team they're probably going to see in the playoffs. They haven't beaten the Ravens, they haven't beaten the Texans, and they still got to see Kansas City.
Interesting.
And they see them this week.
Yeah, so
And the funny thing too is that both these two games we talked about, because the Ravens won, they took number one after the Patriots lost, and because they beat the Niners dropped to number 5.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. The Niners dropped to 5 in that game.
Moved up to the number.
Yeah, after Seattle beat Minnesota, they jumped to number 2, and the Saints are number 1.
Wow, that hurt them then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. All right, so we wrapping up the picks. The Monday night game, the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Seattle Seahawks. That game was won by Seattle 30-37. Herman, who'd you have in this one?
I had Seattle. That was a good game. Seattle is hard to beat at home. I thought Kirk Cousins played a really good game. He was, 22 38, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Very comparable to Russell Wilson, 21 for 31, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Difference in this game was the run game. Dalvin Cook, 9 carries for 29 yards and a TD. And
he got hurt in that game.
Oh, yeah, he did. That's right. And Rush, Chris Carson. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. 23 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. On my fantasy team, so I keep up with him. But
he was running angry.
Yeah, he was. He even went out to get to. He went out. He jumped goal line just to get Rashad.
Even Penny, like I was going to say, was running well in this game too.
He was. Best part about the game was the celebration.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was classic right there. So for all the '90s.
Shout out to New Edition.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good game. Two teams that may see each other again in the playoff, maybe.
Yeah, this one I chose Seattle also. I thought this was a preview of a playoff game, to be honest with you. Kirk Cousins went back to being the old Kirk Cousins that we all knew he was. He threw 2 picks. He threw for 276 yards. He threw He threw for 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. I'm sorry, but he didn't look that efficient to me back there. The running game was real important for Seattle. They were able to control that ball and do what they needed to do as far as running the ball. I thought the commentating was just terrible.
We're not going there.
They called DK Metcalf decaf. Another thing.
Who called him that? Booger called him that?
Oh, it had to be Booger.
Also, Booger McFarland said that the New Orleans game against the Vikings was probably the worst loss for the Vikings ever had. If I remember correctly, didn't the Vikings win that game?
Yeah.
They were so stupid.
He was talking about a different season. He was on a different season.
I don't know what it was. That was only bad part about it.
He was talking about the Miracle Minnesota or something.
Yes.
That went Minnesota's way.
Yes, it went their way, yes. But I chose Seattle. They were victorious. Go ahead, Russell. You got my vote for that MVP. Who you had, Marcus?
I picked the Seahawks, of course. Excuse me. I'm not picking the Vikings, even though they're doing pretty good. But we all know who their quarterback is, and I wasn't picking the second front runner for the MVP. I wasn't picking him over the second front runner for the MVP, Russell Wilson. So I picked the Seahawks, and they knocked it out of the box.
Brian.
Yeah, we all think we're with the Seahawks on this one. All correct on this one. Couple little facts. Wilson tied Brett Favre with the most wins at home with 48 with that victory.
Damn, he's been playing that long already?
He's been winning. He's just been winning all his seasons. You know, I mean, I don't think they've ever had a losing season with Russell Wilson.
I think maybe a year.
There might have been maybe.
At least 1 year. At least 1 year.
But they held. The defense got 2 fumbles, got a pick like Mark was talking about, held time of possession, 39 to 20 minutes. And like Herman was saying, I mean, Minnesota really never got their running game going, which is what they needed to do to get the drive still going. They only rushed for like 78 yards, and Seahawks rushed for 218. So The Seahawks did what they had to do. It was tough environment. You could tell that the 12 was there. It was real loud. I thought Minnesota came out and played pretty decent. Kurt, there were 2 fumbles in this game.
Did he fumble?
I don't think he fumbled them. I think it was the running back.
Running back fumbled one, and I can't remember who the other one was.
But
I thought Kurt played okay.
I thought Kurt did pretty decent, and again, they talk about him on Monday night, and that's just another loss. He hasn't won on Monday night ever.
Yeah, he's got a terrible night.
But it's the thing is like you don't play Monday night every week.
Yeah, but he's played a few of them now.
He played a few of them. Hasn't won any of them.
You're gonna lose on those Monday night games. Of course, it's gonna look bad because you play less of them. That's all I'm saying.
I guess, but he got a good sample size now. Kurt
now look, if you got a bad record on Sunday, you're not in the league as
quarterback. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you either riding the pine or you in the booth.
All right, we're gonna get into these hot topics.
So whoa! Where'd everybody go?
4-2.
4-2.
Same thing. 4-2.
4-2.
Wait, what? 4-2. Oh yeah, 4-2.
Wow, that's probably the first week we all.
Oh, you know what? Because the one game you lone wolf, the other game you lone wolf, we all picked wrong, and then you picked.
All right, getting into a hot topics of the week.
It's hot here.
We got Ron Rivera. He just got let go from the
Carolina
Panthers. Yes, Carolina Panthers. Let's get into it. What we think about that? Their interim coach is Perry Few.
Oh,
he was a defensive back coach. And also the go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The defensive back coach, but he's now the intern coach right now. So
you know what else they did that kind of I think they're not talking about? North Turner was moved to special assistant head coach, and his son was given the
offensive coordinator
position.
I did not hear, and I was curious too because when I first saw that Ron Rivera got fired, I said, "Oh, Norville might get another chance to coach for a little bit."
I said, "No."
Wow.
Wow. But he's giving him. He's in his ear. He's in his son.
Maybe, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
Because he could have just stayed as offensive coordinator / assistant head coach. They do that.
But also it's interesting. You notice they gave it to a defensive back coach. They didn't give it to him.
Wasn't really that much of a problem.
Well, yes, that's it. True. So they didn't want to mess up that. They didn't want to mess up that chemistry.
I thought it was shocking. I didn't see that coming at all.
You know what's them damn Redskins? The damn Redskins cost that man his job.
Marcus, your Skins did it. Y'all scouted
you lose to them at home.
I mean, the way that Geis again stiff-armed that linebacker into submission. I mean, that joint was crazy. And then the Redskins got the special teams player of the week with their kicker in that game. So I mean, when you're teetering and you lose to the Redskins, you get fired.
That's the type of ownership though that you should have. There was no wind to this.
No. I mean, there were whispers.
Were there? I didn't see that coming at all.
There were some whispers.
It was a little.
It might have been a
little bit of smoke, but I don't think
by analysts.
Yeah.
But coming out of their organization.
Yeah, no, not out of their organization.
Nothing. No. They'll leak stuff.
Yeah.
Organizations will. That's the type of ownership you want.
But was this the 4th or the 5th loss that they had in a row? I know it was 4 or 5 they had just lost in a row. So.
Okay, but do you even know who I don't even know the Panthers owner's name. So I mean,
exactly.
I saw it in the article, but I forgot.
But that's the thing. That's ownership. You sit back, you own the team, and when a decision is time to be made, you don't talk about it in the media. You go and do what you got to do, and you move on. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
You don't be crying on camera.
No, you don't do none of all that other crap. You don't have press conferences to talk about what your coach did and is he a good coach and blah blah blah. I'm so tired of Jerry Jones. I'm sorry. It's on the left turn, but it was a shocker. I don't know if I feel like it was fair to Ron Rivera. I think he's a great coach. He's gonna go coach somewhere.
I mean,
he's
been there since 2011, and I mean,
been to the Super Bowl.
They were talking about his records and stuff. He had 3 or 4 really good seasons.
And he's been a successful defensive
coordinator. Were basically mediocre.
Too, so he'll get another job.
But are they mediocre?
Was he a coordinator with the Bears?
Mediocre because of
yes, he's a player and coordinator. Yes, player and coordinator.
Were they mediocre because of him or was it him? Newton? Because if you don't have your quarterback, or the quarterback's not.
I would have to say, I mean,
But he's still a defensive dude.
It's tough to fire your coach when you don't have your starting quarterback there. I mean, I don't know what else you can ask them really to do with that. But I think it's just the way they lost. It wasn't just the point they lost the game. It's just way
because they let only thing the Redskins could do was run the ball. They were not passing the ball, and they let them run all over.
What was his nickname? His nickname was Riverboat Ron. He gambled a lot. Finally, they said, "Hey, this gambling with what you're doing here is not holding up."
And in that very last play where Kyle Allen is scrambling and scrambling,
quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that was terrible.
Yeah, but don't you tell him?
And actually, there was a dude wide open on that play.
It was. Oh my God,
wide open.
Yeah.
So that's on the quarterback.
Yeah.
As a coach, I can't do anything else but to coach you and get you into position. He coached the game, got him in the position to try to tie the game. You don't have your starting quarterback. How many starting quarterbacks in the league you think see that guy and make that throw?
Oh, tons. Because he was. I mean, he ran into the rush. He was scrambling and scrambled into the defensive lineman coming at him.
And the play did not take that long to develop.
It didn't.
It was a perfect.
If anything,
play.
Force that thing in there. If you throw a pick, you throw a pick.
It wasn't even a force. That guy was wide open.
But that's what I'm saying. But you take a chance, even if it's close. You take a chance at that because that's your last chance right there.
And see, that's the thing about a quarterback with inexperience. He has to see it open, whereas experienced quarterbacks throw it open.
Yeah.
They just throw it. They know it's there.
And just a quick note on this Panthers deal. They announced today that Cam Newton decided that he wasn't going to keep resting his foot, that he is actually going to have surgery. So he's gone for the season. That makes it a little more mercurial.
Wasn't he gone for the season anyway?
Yeah, he was on IR, but I guess they were going to, instead of doing surgery, they were just going to relax and rest it. But now they're going to do surgery.
Now it's getting surgery. All right, move on to the next hot topic.
This dummy.
Freddie Kitchens. He wore a T-shirt that read, Pittsburgh started it. Apparently it was his birthday, and his daughter had actually gotten the T-shirt, so the family went out to watch a movie. He runs into a fan, and he has a jacket on, he's covered it, but they asked him what the T-shirt said, and he showed it to him. What you guys think about him? Now, first of all, this T-shirt didn't cause him to lose the game, for one.
No. He said that in his press conference.
But this is not a smart thing for a coach to do. What y'all think about this?
I think it's disgusting. I think it's retarded. I think it made no sense at all. It's one thing if it's just a scuffle or something. This dude assaulted another NFL player. This is serious. And you're the head coach and you're making a joke about it. It's not funny. It was dumb. You should be fired right now. But Cleveland's not going to do that. Yeah. But I thought it was in very, very poor taste. It didn't make any sense. And they deserve to get their ass whipped by Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh beat them with a four-string quarterback.
Yes, they did.
Duck is the four-string quarterback.
Duck threw a beautiful ball to Washington
if you
in between the safety and the corner. Oh my God, that jump was beautiful.
If you think about it, they had Josh Dobbs there before they traded him, so he was there actually third string. They brought him in off the practice squad, so this is the four-string quarterback that they lost to.
I'm in agreement with Brian on this one. If I'm the Browns owner, I would have fired him. And you know why? It's not like he's winning us games and we're going we're on the rise. And you're a head coach. You have to set the example. And him wearing a shirt like that, it's a culture. The head coaches create a culture for your team, and inside and out of the building. And you just can't do that. That is just immature and stupid. I mean, that's the bottom line. You represent $1 million company to go do some dumb stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to give the counterpoint. I actually thought it was kind of funny. I mean, maybe he should have been wearing it. I mean, but the Browns are garbage. He's going to be fired next year. I mean, I don't know. I think his biggest mistake. His biggest mistake is not wearing it, it's being photographed in it. You know what I'm saying?
You're the head coach. You would never see Belichick in that. You would never see John Harbaugh in that.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you on that. But like I said,
and again, it would have been funny and it would have been hilarious if it wasn't such a serious offense that they had did.
True.
And we would have crucified Baker Mayfield if he wore it.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
Let a player have worn that.
Yes.
I wonder would a team have suspended a player?
But that's the
for
other
wearing
thing too, is that he put his other players in harm by wearing that thing, and he's not on the field to take the brunt or the hits or those stuff.
And by the way, in this game, I mean there was no cheap stuff. There was no funny stuff going on.
was actually a clean game.
They both played a clean game professionally, despite all this other goofy stuff going on. But you would have never known that they got in a fight before. And these two teams don't like each other.
At all.
So I give my hats off to the coaches for keeping that aspect away from this game. That was brilliant.
But
Just real quick, go ahead.
But it would have been great after the game if Mike Tomlin had lifted up his shirt and it would have said Pittsburgh finished it.
Yeah, he's too classy for that. Hey, but just real quick, a quick note. Did y'all hear about Baker? He hit his hand in that game.
Yes.
And hurt it. And they asked him, was he going to be playing this week? And he said, yeah, because mama ain't raised no punk.
No pump.
No punk.
Oh. I don't want to know. Can somebody school Baker Mayfield on his mustache grooming habits?
No.
I mean, can we get somebody in there to talk to him about that?
Porn star mustache.
He looks like a
70s.
he looks like a 1970s serial killer with that mustache. Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next hot topic. The Miami Dolphins ran a trick play that we probably could say that was history in the making. It was the first time ever a punter had threw a touchdown pass or a pass to a kicker. They have a name called for this play too. It was called the Mountaineers Shot. Is what it was called. What you guys think about this?
I was dying. I was laughing hilariously. Because it was the Eagles that were at the brunt of this. So it just made me smile to the highest. And with their little Philly dilly thing, and now they got tricked on this play. It was just justice served on a hot platter. Mike C, nobody cares about them Bengals.
It's funny when you watch the play. Again, it always comes down to what the defense does. And I know it's a trick play, and you're like, oh, but one guy was covering the punter, kind of covering the punter, right? And when the holder starts to roll out, two guys come up to tackle him, but the third guy feels like I got to go get him too.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came off the punter, he just flicked
it.
It was like, dude.
It was one unorthodox throw.
It was like, I'm scared for my life. Oh my God, they're gonna kill me. Let me get this ball out of my hand. That's what the throw was. But
now he's 1 for 1 with a touchdown and a 100% quarterback rate.
It was a brilliant call.
It definitely was. It was fun. It makes you wonder too why. I guess because the way they lined it up, most of the offensive lineman was way over there.
Yeah.
Wonder why the defense, did they all report eligible? Because the defense didn't have to cover any of those linemen. If they couldn't throw the ball to
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
That's a good question.
Because they had the center. I think they had two. The defense had two guys.
How many people can report eligible on a game?
I don't know. That's what,
five. Is it
so
5?
maybe they were all eligible.
Okay.
Because I was wondering. I was like, well, why did the defense? Because
last
time somebody tried to do that.
You know what? That's right. Because all of them would have to be.
Yeah.
In that way. Well, at least 4 would have to be
to cover them.
Yeah,
because you would have to cover them. Because the last time somebody tried that, remember they tried that? They put all the linemen on one side. And I think the defense just stayed there. And as soon as they had the ball, they just blitzed it.
Was that what the Redskins doing the swinging gate against the Giants?
It might have
and
been.
The Giants destroyed it.
Yeah, I can't remember what game it was, but that was a trip. But yeah,
word to the Eagles. Maybe next time when you win a Super Bowl that you never won before you start writing books on how to, win championships
and party and
maybe
not do it the Patriots way.
Maybe you need to wait a little while. Wait till you get a couple of Super Bowls under your belt like the Patriots did before.
Some football, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna get into these picks for Week 14 matchups. First game we got Thursday night game. We got the Dallas Cowboys against the Chicago Bears. I'll start it off.
Was that a bear growl? That's like a lion growl right there.
You sound like that lady on that commercial.
There you go. God. I'm gonna start this one off first. Trubisky's gonna have to be at his best, really, to beat this team. I think the defensive line is gonna be the key. Whoever dominates on the defensive line will probably be the one who victorious on this game. Don't choose for me, Brian. I really think the Cowboys have to bounce back. I really do. I'm going to take the Cowboys on this one, y'all. We'll see. Go Cowboys.
What?
Brian, who you
That don't
got?
even sound right. What's wrong with
Of course, I'm going with my Cowboys. The Cowboys are actually giving up 3 points by Vegas in this game, but you still got Dak Prescott, who's still the number one quarterback in the NFL. You got the number 8 running game, which we need to use more. Jalen Smith, our linebacker, is actually number 4 in tackles with 112, which I didn't realize. I mean, we've been kind of thinking that the defense needs to step up and hasn't been doing everything, but he actually been having some things.
Well,
But
that means the line's not doing much. If he's doing all
True.
the damn
That's what
tackles.
True. The one caveat that the Bears have is that Dallas has not beaten a top 10 defense all year, and Chicago Bears are number 9 in passing and number 7 in defense. That makes them a top 10 defense. Trubisky is the number 26 quarterback in the NFL, and although he had a very good game last week, he won't have one this week. Go Cowboys.
Marcus, who you got?
You know, I don't know why I keep
Don't
picking.
do it then.
I don't know why I keep doing it, but
Can we mute him or something? He's gonna ruin it, Herman.
But I mean, if you look at the matchup, the Cowboys should win this hands down. I mean, on paper, they're a much better team than the Bears are. Even though they got the same record, they're a much better team than the Bears are. It's not even close. The only advantage the Bears might have is on defense. So what's I hate to do it, I got to hit the Cowboys again.
Herman, go ahead and round us out on this one.
I'm so tired of picking the Cowboys games. I ain't even gonna lie.
I know. This is the last
I think
one.
we done picked the most this year Cowboys games seem like. But look, whatever. If Dallas doesn't win this game, I won't be surprised. That's so sad to say. I'm picking Dallas. Move on to the next game. I don't even have no analysis for this game. I'm picking Dallas.
You're taking Dallas. Okay. All right. Next game we got is going to be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Saints. This is another one, man. This is the another preview, possibly a playoff game. Herman, who you got on this one, sir?
I told y'all I wasn't going against the 49ers. This is in New Orleans.
Yes.
This ain't a Monday night. This is not a prime time.
I know, it's so weird. These
It's 1 o'clock.
big games and they're
Flexing
not
these
flexing.
games? Wow. I'm going with the 49ers. I think they bounce back. Even though the Saints are playing good, they're playing pretty rounded. They've been a little off lately. Their game's been just a little off. And I think the 49ers are really going to be hungry after taking that loss to watch your head on the microphone.
My bad.
I think the 49ers are going to bounce back. They're going to be hungry from that loss to the Ravens. So I'm going with the 49ers.
Mark, Mike C wants you to put the hat back on.
No. No, Mike is not going back on. Marcus, who you have?
I'm glad to pick the Saints. You know, it's at home. I think the Saints are the premier team in the NFC. And I really hate to see the 49ers lose 2 in a row. I mean, that one loss knocked them all the way down to number 5. Ain't no telling what this loss is going to do. But I just think that, you know, I think it'll be a good game. I think Breeze is going to have to really pay attention and start calling out that protection on that defense. I think that's going to make all the difference in the world, how the Saints O-line handles that D-line by the 49ers. But I'm going with the Saints.
Brian, who you got?
I'm with Marcus on this one. I'm going to take the Saints at home. New Orleans is a tough beat at home. The Niners are the truth, and they are a good team, but you still got Drew Brees. You still got Thomas, who's the number 1 receiver. They're in the number 9 passing offense right now, number 10 total defense. The Niners, of course, are the number 1 defense with the number 1 pass defense. The caveat here is Garoppolo. I don't see, Garoppolo freeze. I just don't see it happening. So I think these two defenses will do well. Kamara needs to get it going, though. I haven't really heard or seen much of Kamara in the last couple of weeks. They're going to have to get that running game going, but give me the Saints.
This was a tough one for me, man. I believe in the 49ers. I really do. But they got to go in New Orleans and play them. New Orleans have the number 1 seed right now in the NFC. Pass protection, I think, is going to be a key on this one. Herman, I think he's going to be a lone wolfer in this one. We'll put that hat over there to
I only
you.
need the hat if I'm wrong.
I'm taking the Saints on this one, y'all.
Ow.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Another good game.
Another good game, man.
It's not in prime time.
Not in prime time, no. Two of the hot teams on this. I'm gonna go with this one first. Two of the hot teams in the NFL, both the physical teams. I think the Bills may have a little slight advantage on only because they had a little bit longer rest than what the Ravens did, and Ravens played a much more physical game than what the Bills did. I think the turnover is going to be the key. For the Ravens, I think they're going to have to get Josh Allen to turn over the ball,
which he does.
With that said, I think I'm gonna have to drink the purple Kool-Aid on this one, y'all. I think I'm taking the Ravens on it. Marcus, who you got?
Well, you already know I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid the rest of the season. I'm picking the Ravens. I believe Herman said last week the Bills haven't really beat anybody with a winning record.
Excuse me, sir.
They just beat the Cowboys.
Excuse me, sir.
Did they have a winning record at the time?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, they did.
They still ain't beat nobody.
They had the most. They had the better team with the better.
Beat nobody. I don't care what Dallas's record was. They ain't beat nobody.
Yeah, I agree with her. They ain't beat nobody, and I think the Ravens gonna be too much for them. I was looking at the weather to see if that was gonna be a factor, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be snowing or anything. It's gonna be 44. The low's gonna be 41, so just cloudy. So it'll be a cold but clear day. So I'm going with the Ravens.
Brian, who you got?
I'm with you guys. I'm not drinking that damn Kool-Aid, but I do believe that the Ravens, with the number 2 offense and the number 1 rushing offense, will go down to Buffalo, who actually has the number 3 defense and the number 5 number 4 run defense.
You mean go up to Buffalo? Go up.
Yeah, go up. Well, go to Buffalo. And then this is like the 2 running quarterbacks. You got the number 9 rushing quarterback in the league in rushing, Lamar Jackson, with 977 yards. And then you got Josh Allen with 430 yards rushing this year. But I just this Ravens is like a monster. I mean, they're like a train that just can't seem to be stopped, even with the best of defenses. So give me the Ravens.
Carmen?
Yeah, I debated this pick. When I looked at the game, we were picking it. But I don't think the Bills have the run game to keep the Ravens off the field. I don't feel like I'm going to compare the run games between these two teams, and the Bills just they can't keep up. And if you have to rely on Josh Allen, even though he's throwing good, but that Ravens secondary, you don't want to have to keep throwing into that Ravens secondary. So I'm gonna go with the Bills. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. He said the Bills. He lone wolf another one. Ow!
I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one.
Hey, Brian, Charlie Briscoe said you will drink the Kool-Aid.
Say it again. He's laughing in my ear. What did you say, Marcus? Say it again.
Charlie Briscoe says you will drink the Kool-Aid.
All right. Our next game we got is the. This not wait a minute. I'm getting thrown off with no money in that game.
Seahawks in the Rams.
The Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. That's a Sunday evening game, right?
Yes, Sunday.
We got the Kansas City taking on the Patriots. We had a fantastic game last year when they played.
Was that the first game of the series?
No, it wasn't the first game, but it was early. We
didn't go see that game? Maybe not. Okay.
Wait,
what do you mean we didn't go see that game? I went to.
I thought that was the first game of the year last year. We went.
No, that wasn't it.
Okay.
Brian, who you have in this one?
I'm probably going to end up lone wolf in this one, but for some reason I'm going to go with the Patriots. Vegas actually agrees with me. The Patriots are giving up 3 points. Again, the number 2 defense, and then number 1 against the pass against that Chiefs offense. I just feel like Brady and them will do what they're supposed to do finally. And the Chiefs defense again makes me nervous. Again, I probably will be dunce in this one, but I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Taking the Patriots, okay. On this particular game, Brady has to play better. He has to. I mean, other than you're almost ready to count them out with this. Patriots sitting at number 2 seed right now. Kansas City is the number 4 seed in the AFC right now. Mahomes have to light it up. He hasn't been lighting it up the last
like last
days.
week against the Raiders. The game was ugly. I mean, they scored like 40 points, but it just
He didn't
seemed.
throw.
No.
Yeah.
The last 2 back-to-back games, he only threw for 200 yards in both of those games.
Yeah, I know. It's on my fantasy team.
I think
Carolina
Kansas
too.
City is going to wake up on this one too. I'm going to take the Chiefs on this one, y'all. Herman, who you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs on this one too, Mark. It's so funny. I'm going to tell you, we talk about the Patriots. It just tells you how good the Patriots have been over the
For
last
20
however many
years.
because they're 10-2, and we're like counting them out, okay? And they're 10-2.
And Brady's done.
When-
Brady's garbage.
When does that happen? You know what I mean? So
That's true.
that just shows you how it's a compliment to the Patriots, how great they've been. And, as much as I hate to say it, they've just been great. But again, they don't feel like it's the same this year, even though they're 10-2. And I just feel like the Chiefs are going to get this one. It's hard to win in Foxborough,
It is.
but the Chiefs' offense, I think.
Marcus, check the weather real quick.
Yeah. But the Chiefs' offense can put up numbers, and the Patriots' offense won't keep up with that if they do. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this one.
Marcus, Rams out.
Well, it's going to be cold. High 38, low 31, but just cloudy. They're not calling for any snow. This was a hard one for me because I really think the Chiefs need to win this one. And like you said, the Patriots offense, Tom Brady have not been looking like themselves this season, and their defense just gave up 4 pass touchdowns, more than they've done all year to the Texans. And I truly believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are just as good as the Texans are, if not better. But I just can't bet against Brady and Belichick yet at home in December. This is the type of game they usually stand up for. They need this game as much as the Chiefs need this game. And I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to go ahead and pick the Patriots.
Marcus, virtual high five, buddy.
So we got the Sunday night game, the last game that ran out the picks. You got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the LA Rams. NFC, I think this is the NFC West best division in football right now. Herman, you can go first. So who you got in this one?
I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm riding the hot hand. Russell Wilson, he's playing at an MVP level. You had the good Jared Goff last week, so you probably get the bad one this week. So, you haven't seen that consistency from the Rams offense this year like you saw before. And again, since they had a good week last week, I'm going to go with Seattle to win this one on the road.
Marcus, who you got?
I'm about to go with the Seahawks. Like I said, even though the Rams look good, or Jared Goff looked good last week, it's the Rams. MVP got an MVP contender in Russell Wilson. They're just doing it up this year. I think the Seahawks are going to sweep this series, and they're going to pull it out. Hello.
Nick, still here?
That's it. I'm done.
Okay. It kind of got blurry for a while, so I didn't lost you. This one, man. I mean, the Rams did play the 2 for them last week. They got back to basics, but then again, they only played the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think if Seattle can stop Gurley, I think they can take it. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks in this one. Brian, take us home.
I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks as well. Ain't no way I'm going with home dog. Man, Seattle they're playing. I mean, Russell Wilson is on it. Again, the number 3 offense, number 3 rushing offense. The Rams are 12 in defense. Who would have thought? You always thought about the Rams and that vaunted defense. And, Gurley's only rushed for 642 yards for the whole season. I don't know if they're still trying to save him, but let him go. Okay,
look at
run the crap out of him right now because you need to win some games to get into this playoff run.
They're 25th in rushing.
25th.
Good Lord.
I mean, you again, you played the Cardinals last week. Okay, you know Jared Goff did good, but Jared Goff needs play action to be successful. And if he don't get that from this Saints defense, and you know who also played good for Seattle was why did I just forget his name? The defensive end that they came from Clowney. Clowney played a great game last week too. He was all over the place. I just to see it and you know, be honest with you, Vegas only gave the Seahawks a point in this game. I don't know if this because of travel or what, but I expected a bigger thing. But give me the Seahawks.
So that wraps up for a week prediction. I also want to take one quick minute if I can.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yes.
For you Cincinnati Bengals fan out there.
Oh, Lord.
You guys got your first win of the season. If they're out, we give it to them. They won't have a goose egg. They won't be one. At least they got one win. They won't be 0. They won't be 0-16, that's for sure. Go ahead, Mike.
Good job. And good luck to Eli Manning this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. Win one for the Gipper, buddy.
Yeah, we believe in you, Eli. We need you.
You know, he's 116. We don't want you going out with a 116, 117 record. That's just ugly.
It's going to be harder for you to get into the Hall of Fame off your name.
Hayden can't help you. No.
All right, Marcus, take us out of here, Marcus.
Before I take us out, I want to tell this football story. Tell me what you guys think. To me, it sounded crazy. This Sunday, I had dinner with my brother and his roommate, and the roommate had flew in from San Francisco to Baltimore. He had a layover in Chicago. Got into Chicago like at 1 o'clock in the morning. He went to sleep at the gate, overslept, and missed his flight. So they had to get like what do you call it when you're not guaranteed on the flight? Okay, so they had to stand. Him and this other guy who was a San Francisco 49ers fan had to get on standby. And the 49ers fan that came from Vegas, and I think he was running late too. And so they only had room for one, so they gave the standby flight to my brother's roommate. And he knew the guy was a 49ers fan, and the guy was going to the game. And if he didn't make that flight, he wasn't going to make it to the game, and he had like 3 friends waiting for him. So my brother's roommate gave up the seat so this guy could get to the 49ers game, 49ers Ravens game on time.
And watch him lose.
And watch him lose.
That was still a good game, though. That was nice. That was nice. That's a great story.
Yeah, that was nice.
You have your roommate's name, your brother's roommate name? You have a name?
I forget. It's a
Marcus' brother roommate.
Good job, man.
Good job, man.
That'll come back to you.
Yes, it will.
No, refresh. Your brother's roommate. He was a 49er fan too.
Yes. He said that's the only reason to do it. If he had been a Baltimore fan, he probably would have done it.
Yeah, because I wouldn't let no Redskins fan. I know that's right.
That's a good story.
That's a good story.
I thought that was a cool story. But anyway, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Go check us out on Twitter at DeLevGabe3. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.